Hello everyone. Now I thought before we move into another part of speech, we will learn how to say the negative form of all the simple tenses that we have done. It's a very simple thing, but I thought it worth repeating because if you say no with the be verb, it's one form, and if you say you negate something with something which is not the be verb, you use a helping verb. So I thought I'll just summarize it for you very quickly. We started the simple lessons with the be form. I am a teacher. And now that's very simple. When you say the negation of that, you simply put a not after the am. I am not a student. I am a teacher. I am not a student. It is the same thing for the future or the past. The past is I was a student. I was not a student of science. I was a student. I was not a student of science subjects. So I am not, I was not. You can put it together by those two words together and say I wasn't a student of science subject. Just like am, anything else. She is a student. She is not a teacher. Is not can also be, you can make a contraction out of those two words and say she isn't a teacher. Past tense, she was a student of the arts. She was not or she wasn't a student of the science subject. If you use are, we are teachers. We are not students. We aren't students. We weren't students of science. Were not, weren't. Right? So these are very simple things. If you are not sure of the spelling, please type this. The Google will give you the right spelling for that. Let's say take the future. I will be 54 next year. I will be 54 next year. I will not be 55. So I will be something. I will not be something. So the not comes before the be. I will be happy next year. I will not be sad. So I will be not is not correct. I will not be sad. I will be busy next month. I will not be free. So same thing with are or is. She will be, same thing with third or second person. We will be busy next year. We will not be free. Same thing because will be doesn't change. She will be available next month. She will not be available tomorrow. So the be verb is something like that. It's very easy. You remember where the not goes. Only in the case of the future it comes before the be. Otherwise it's after the be verb. Another thing that we learned as a special verb was have. So have, there are two ways of doing it. You can say have not. I haven't a brother. I have a brother. I haven't a sister. I have not. She has a brother. She hasn't a sister. Has not, hasn't. They have pupils. They haven't followers. Same thing, but have is very special. You can also put the other form which is commonly used for any simple tense, which is the use of the do verb. Do as a helping verb is always used when you want to negate a simple tense in a sentence. For example, I get up at 5 a.m. I get up at 5 a.m. Now you can't say I get up not. you have to use a helping verb, which is the do, right? This is how you form it. I do not get up at 4 a.m. I get up at 5 a.m. I do not get up at 4 a.m. So the do not, before the not, you have the helping verb of do before the verb. I don't, so do not can be contracted to say don't. D-O-N''T. I speak English. I don't speak French. I do not speak French. I don't speak French. We don't speak French. And if it is singular, do becomes does. She doesn't speak French. She speaks Japanese. She does not speak Chinese. And when it's the past, do becomes did. And when it's did, for everything it's did. I didn't know he was sad. They didn't know you were coming. He didn't know this was a problem. So, do, doesn't, present simple negation, didn't, past simple negation. And how do we do this in the future? I will be coming. That's a normal with the be verb. Let's do this. I will read the book. Because of the presence of will, you can put not right in the middle of the two verbs. I will not read that book. In the future, you do not need the do verb because already a helping verb will is there in the future, right? So for the present and the past, we use do, do not, does not, didn't. But the future already has a few, in the future simple, there's already a helping verb, which is the be form, the future. So you will put the not in the middle of the two verbs. I will come tomorrow. I will not come tomorrow. She will talk to you. She will not talk to you. Negation, right? They will listen to my lesson. They will not listen to my lesson. So the not comes in the future simple tense between the will and the main verb, right? So in the future, I told you we did a lesson on modal verbs as well. The same rule. I can play the violin. I cannot play the piano. So can play, the not comes between the two can and the verb. Remember, cannot is one verb. One word, please. So if you spell it, it's C-A-N-N-O-T. Don't put as two different words, cannot. Very often it's contracted. Cannot becomes can't. I will do a song today with you to demonstrate this. It's a beautiful song, something I like. The title is I Can't Smile Without You. Without you, I can't smile. I can't smile. So there are many modal verbs as the last lesson that I did on modal verbs would have shown you. Can't, I mustn't touch this. I mustn't, I must not be lazy. Students must not be lazy, right? He ought not come. He ought to come. He ought not to come. Ought not. So it's between the modal and the main verb that the not can come. I have to go. I haven't to go. Those are not very commonly used, but you can use the not between the modal verb and the main verb, right? You must look after your parents. You must not neglect them. You must look after your parents. You ought to look after your parents. You must not neglect them. You ought not to neglect them, right? So these are the negations, and today I chose first a pretty powerful poem, because I wanted to show you that poem by Dylan Thomas, and the whole title is in a negation, and the title of the poem is "Do Not Go Gentle into That Good Night." Do not go gentle into that good night, right? The night is death, and normally in the Eastern philosophies, we say, when you're close to death, like, kind of make up your mind, go peacefully, go calmly, to be happy. But this is a very strange poem. I mean, even Christians, I think, say that, you'll be with God, it's heaven. But this poet, Dylan Thomas, did something very strange. And they say he wrote it when his father was dying. In front of his dying father, he had just wanted to say this. I don't know whether he actually wrote it that time. And the last verse is he addresses his father directly. And he is in a way saying, please don't go gentle into that good night. Don't peacefully die. Because human spirit is so full of fire, of passion. And when you're going, he says, please fight against death. Don't go happily, don't go calmly. Please rage, be angry against death. It's a very strange poem and a powerful poem, because there are like 5 verses in it, and 6. 4 of them describe different kinds of people, and for each kind he says, go angry because you haven't done this. Okay, and it's a very interesting poem. I'll read it in English, and in a Dvibhashane program I'll give you the Sinhala translation also. In this I'll stick to the English one only. So the title is Do Not Go Gentle into That Good Night. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Though wise men at their end know dark is right, because their words had forked no lightning, they do not go gentle into that good night. Good men, the last wave by, crying how bright their frail deeds might have danced in a green bay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Wild men who caught and sang the sun in flight and learn, too late, they grieved it on its way. Do not go gently into that good night. Grave men near death, who see with blinding sight, blind eyes could blaze like meteors and be gay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. And you, my father, there on the sad height, curse, bless me now with your fierce tears. I pray, do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. And it's really sad, because his father died, and within 2 years Dylan Thomas was also dead. He was an alcoholic. They say he drank a lot, he did not take care of himself. They said others didn't take care of him, and he was touring America and all that, and he he had so much sickness, and once he just collapsed. He was a playwright and everything, and he collapsed, and he went into a coma and never recovered. So, and after writing this poem, I think he lost 3 good friends and his sister, and quite a sad ending of a life. But his passion and his passion for life had been very, very clear. So even in this, if you want to understand it, I'll do the Sinhala later. The first one is where he says old age should be where people do not go peacefully. They will be angry, they will be trying to do something a little bit more before they die, right? And the second verse is wise men. Men who are intelligent know that dark is right. The death is right, because that's where everybody ends. There's nothing wrong with it, right? Because their words had forked no lightning. Wise men would have tried to teach, tried to write, tried to do something. But they know their words had forked no lightning. They haven't made enough impact. Like a bolt of lightning, it wasn't enough, right? they do not go gently into that good night. They won't die peacefully because they know they could have said more powerful words, done more things, made a bigger impact like lightning. So wise men, though they know death is natural, they would rage because they want their words to have made a better impact. The third one is good men. Good men, the last wave by, crying how bright their frail deeds might have danced in a green bay. Green bay is youth, young time, in a beautiful place, how their little deeds that they would have done might have danced. So when you say might have danced, you know that they actually haven't danced. So good men want to do more good things. They think they haven't done enough and they want to do more good things where they might have danced, they might have made a difference in a very young era for people whose life was very active at the moment. So because they know they couldn't do it, rage, please rage, be angry. Do not go gently into the night. Be angry that you couldn't do some of the things that would have meant so much at the right time when life was young. Fourth one, wild men. Men who were not good or wise was wild, had a wild time. And Dylan Thomas also was kind of a wild man, I think, who drank, who danced, right? And here he says, who caught and sang the sun in flight. They were riding the sun, right? They were just living as if you will never die, having so much fun. Learned too late. They grieved it on its way. They might learn a little bit too late that maybe the sun was also sad, or it was a sad way to live, right? There are many ways of poetry. There are many ways of interpreting it. This, I take it as, you can say they grieved it on its way, as very sadly they are waving the sun goodbye because they realize they can't ride it anymore. They are old and they are dying, or they're sick and they are dying. Or you could say the sun itself was sad because they were not using their life properly. You can take it either way. They grieved it on its way. The sun is now going and it's sad. Do not go gently into that night. Then last one, not the one before the last one, grave men. Men who are very serious, who were always very deep thinking, near death. They realize one thing, see with blinding sight. Blind eyes could blaze like meteors and be gay. Even without anything, they could have blazed, they could have shone, they could have been a really bright light. Even a blind man could have been and be happy. There were reasons to be happy. Life always gives you something to be happy, but if you are very grave, if you don't laugh too much, you might not quite realize it. Now they learn too late that even blind eyes could blaze like meteors and be gay. Rage against the dying light. Be angry that, now you are dying and you can't change with the realization they have. And the last one becomes, now the 3, 4, 5 were very general things, like kind of a universal truth that he was trying to tell. The last line, he addresses the father directly and says, and you, my father, they are on the sad height. Height could be either a tall bed or, at the top of life and it's ending. And he says, don't go peaceful. You either curse me or bless me with fierce tears. I pray. Please cry, right? Do something. Don't go gentle. Do not go gently into that good night. Rage against the dying of the light. Dying of the light is the ending of our life. Strange poem, a very powerful poem, where the poet makes an appeal that people don't normally make. So I will do this in Sinhala in my Dvibhashaniya program, which will follow soon. So that's a serious poem. Do not go. Negative of the present simple. And I'll end with a slightly happier song. Barry Manilow, very old-fashioned, very old singer. When I was a child, I listened to him. So this, when it's lyrics, such serious things don't come out. But I will read it for you. Please, in my comment section, or in my FB comment section, or my channel comment section, or just go to YouTube and type Barry Manilow, I Can't Smile Without You. Okay, nice love song. So please do listen to the love song, send it to anyone you want. It's a very sweet thing. You know, I can't smile without you. I can't smile without you. I can't laugh. I can't sing. I'm finding it hard to do anything. You see, I feel sad when you're sad. I feel glad when you're glad. If you only knew what I'm going through, I just can't smile without you. So he said, when you're not here, I'm not happy. I can't smile. And you came along just like a song and brightened my day. You come and you brighten my day. You make the day much more brighter. I think it should be brightened my day. Who would have believed that you were part of a dream? Now it all seems light years away. Because she has gone, he says, I wouldn't have believed then that this was like a dream. I thought you were real. But now it seems light years away. A light year is a very long year. It seems a light year away. It's a light year away means a very, very long time ago. Now again, he goes to the chorus, I can't smile without you. He goes there. Then he goes to another verse. Now some people say happiness takes so very long to find. I am finding it hard leaving your love behind me. I can't forget you. It's very difficult for me to leave the memory of your love behind me. And then he goes into the verse again. The reason I did this song after the very serious poem was, please enjoy the song, have fun. It's very easy to sing Barry Manilow's songs. Even if it's not in tune, it's easy to sing. Sing with it, enjoy the music and enjoy the language. Right? Thank you very much.